Breaking news! Things are pretty heated behind the scenes at the Steelers, and man, we need to get this over with. I'll give you all the details, but before I go any further, make sure you've hit the like button if you've been a Steelers fan for over 18 years. It's great to see you here. There are people here who were at the games back in the 80s. Maximum respect. If you want, comment like this: "Go Steelers, my heart bleeds black and golden yellow." Now let's get right to it. The Pittsburgh Steelers have sparked new speculation around the league with a series of changes that could drastically reshape their offensive identity next season. A recent roster shakeup saw the team part ways with point guard Lita Smith, a move that came on the heels of the signing of Nick Broker, a former 7th-round pick who had brief stints with the Texans and Bills. Broker is expected to be a depth piece. Nothing groundbreaking, but it's what this move signals about the Steelers' larger roster strategy that has fans excited. With just one open roster spot on the team's 90-man roster, all eyes are now on who that final spot might be. And make no mistake, there's a growing chorus of insiders who believe that spot is being reserved for none other than quarterback Aaron Rodgers. That's right, Rodgers. The 41-year-old four-time MVP has been linked to Pittsburgh as a high-risk, high-reward solution, especially under new offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. Bleacher Report recently connected the Steelers not just to Rodgers, but also to two major free agents: wide receiver Amari Cooper and quarterback Carson Wentz. Cooper, despite battling injuries last season, showed significant improvement in his catch rate after moving from Cleveland to Buffalo, jumping from 45.3% to 62.5%. While he may no longer be the alpha receiver he once was, he fits the mold of a WR2 perfectly, offering route-running precision that Rodgers is known to favor. In fact, Cooper's savvy playing style could complement a vertical threat like DK Metcalf, who is also now in the mix, by offering a reliable option across all route depths. As for Wentz, he's being floated as a backup contingency plan should the Rodgers deal fall through. Though his most recent seasons with Washington and Indianapolis were uneven, Wentz has flashed solid numbers in a run-heavy defense-first system, one not unlike what the Steelers are expected to deploy. Compared head-to-head with Mason Rudolph, Wentz has the edge in touchdown and interception rates, but the question remains, would he really beat out Rudolph in camp? This brings us to two intriguing trade targets at wide receiver: John Mechie III from the Houston Texans and Parker Washington from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mechie, still young and known for his gritty run blocking and sharp route running, has seen his role diminish amid a crowded Texans WR room. With just 1 year left on his rookie deal, he could be acquired for a late-round pick, perhaps a 6th or 7th rounder. For Arthur Smith, who prizes physical, blocking-capable receivers, Mechie checks a lot of boxes. Meanwhile, Parker Washington brings a different flavor. At just 23 years old and 5'10", 204 pounds, the former Penn State standout plays bigger than his size and is a menace after the catch. His versatility to line up inside and out, along with strong hands and the ability to contribute on special teams, makes him an appealing chess piece. However, due to thin depth behind him in Jacksonville, prying him away may be more complicated than acquiring Mechie. But this is where the story takes a fascinating turn. According to sources, the Steelers are not merely window shopping. There's real intent to bring in another veteran receiver, an expectation echoed by both GM Omar Khan and Mason Rudolph. The idea is clear: reinforce the WR room, solidify the quarterback position, and give Arthur Smith the tools he needs to execute a more balanced physical offense.
Still, there's tension around how these pieces fit together. If Aaron Rodgers does indeed come aboard, he'll want established chemistry with his receivers, making the Cooper link even more compelling. Yet, if Rodgers stays retired or decides not to sign, we could see a full-blown quarterback competition unfold in Latrobe between Mason Rudolph and Carson Wentz. In that scenario, who wins the job? And with that final roster spot still dangling in front of us, who should the Steelers prioritize? Cooper, Wentz, Mechie, or Washington? Who do you think is the best fit to complete the Steelers roster? Let me know in the comments below. If the Pittsburgh Steelers truly pull the trigger on any one of these moves, or possibly more than one, the entire dynamic of their offense in 2025 could undergo a dramatic shift. The identity of the team under Arthur Smith is already being crafted around a tough, physical approach with a renewed emphasis on efficiency, power football, and balance. But these potential additions speak to something deeper, a desire to not just compete, but to take control of the AFC North. Let's zoom in on the quarterback scenario first, because it's the heartbeat of this entire narrative. If Aaron Rodgers lands in Pittsburgh, the offense gets an immediate identity, veteran leadership, elite field vision, and a player who thrives when given precise route runners like Amari Cooper. Their connection could become the nucleus of the Steelers' passing game, with DK Metcalf stretching the field and Cooper working the intermediate zones. Add in Pat Freiermuth and a healthy Najee Harris, and you suddenly have a well-rounded offense with legitimate firepower. But of course, Rodgers is not a guarantee. His age, injury history, and current silence leave the door wide open for a contingency plan. That's where Carson Wentz enters the conversation, and not just as a placeholder. The Steelers front office clearly still believes there's something in Wentz that can be unlocked in the right system. And considering Arthur Smith's past success with similar quarterbacks in Tennessee, it's not entirely out of the question that Wentz could revive his career in the black and gold. Still, what about Mason Rudolph? He's remained quiet, composed, and focused, saying all the right things and preparing like a professional. It's not lost on the coaching staff that Rudolph performed admirably when called upon last season. If he ends up in a true head-to-head competition with Wentz at Latrobe, this could be the most intriguing Steelers camp battle in years. A polarizing figure with a big arm and mobility versus the steady hand of a seasoned backup who's been waiting for his chance to lead. It's a legitimate storyline that could dominate training camp coverage. But what elevates all of this from interesting to truly compelling is how the wide receiver situation weaves into the quarterback puzzle. Let's say Rodgers does come. You're not signing him to hand the ball off 30 times a game. He'll want weapons, reliability, and rhythm. That's where Amari Cooper becomes almost a necessity. But suppose they go with Wentz or Rudolph. Suddenly, the offense might lean heavier on the run game, play action, and yards after the catch, making a trade for someone like Parker Washington or John Mechie more ideal for the scheme. Both of those young receivers bring unique skills. Mechie is the kind of lunch pail guy that Pittsburgh has historically loved, gritty, underrated, tough. He won't command the spotlight, but he could make all the difference on third and short or in red zone packages where blocking from wideouts is critical. Washington, on the other hand, brings more flash. His ability to make people miss in space and contribute on special teams offers an immediate value upgrade across multiple phases of the game. And there's also the cost consideration. Cooper, while impactful, would require a multi-million-dollar investment. Mechie or Washington could be acquired for late-round picks and small contracts. That financial flexibility could then be used to secure another veteran piece elsewhere or even provide room to extend players already on the roster. This front office has been strategic with cap management under Omar Khan, and every move reflects both immediate goals and long-term vision. Then there's the deeper context of all this. George Pickens is gone, traded to the Cowboys. A polarizing move that left fans divided but opened the door to recalibrate the receiver room in a way that fits Arthur Smith's blueprint more closely. The Steelers are teetering between two identities right now, one where they go all in with a veteran superstar quarterback like Rodgers, and another where they double down on development, physicality, and long-term growth with someone like Wentz or Rudolph. The next few weeks are going to tell us everything about what direction this franchise is really headed in. And the question remains, do you go for proven production with names like Rodgers and Cooper, or do you trust the youth movement with guys like Mechie and Washington? Let us know in the comments, who do you want to see wearing black and gold next season? And if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and keep an eye out for the video popping up right now on your screen. This offseason just got real.